the flag and stuff that they put on the moon, that it looks like it's waving in the breeze. You know that, of course there's no atmosphere on the moon at all.
People would come out, we'd walk out into the barn, and I'd show them my horses, and I'd show them my bulls, and they'd ask me different questions about them. I'd tell them what this was and what that was. How come his legs up like that? It's because he's resting. It wasn't the fanciest place in the world. It had cows in it, so there was crap all over the floors, there was horse shit all over the floors. The horses would come in and out, and the bulls would come in and out. It was just like, hey, let's go out to the barn and pester the animals. Well, there they are, go ahead. Just be careful, because if you stand too long in one place, it's gonna happen. If you just stand there, they'll walk up behind you, put their head on your shoulder, and talk to you. They're gonna pick up that pheromone your body's putting off, they're gonna mount you. If you don't move, you're bred. And I mean bred. There was times that people come over expecting it, and no, it never happened.
We had one horse that we called Chance when we brought him in. He was blind, and he was in this area where it was just nothing but blackberry bushes. So he kept poking himself in the eye. We ultimately had to remove both of his eyes because he had re-injured himself so many times trying to forage for food. I mean, it touched all of us very deeply. When we took that horse to the veterinary hospital, we were advised to put him down. But our feeling and our experience has been that just because it has a problem like blindness, that's not a good enough reason to just end their life.
One of the things we found fascinating about the story is that the news media in the Puget Sound would not reveal the name of the victim. We believe we have the name of that man. We talked to somebody who worked with this guy. We talked to someone who got a memo at work about the death of this guy. We talked to people who told us that federal employees were coming in saying this name is never, ever, ever to be given out.
My name is Pam Roach, and I'm the state senator that covers the area of Enumclaw and all the lovely area on the Enumclaw Plateau. It's a beautiful area, as you can see. There are a lot of farms, a lot of people that love to have animals on these farms, and a great place to raise children. I could never believe that an animal would do this on their own. We don't allow adults to abuse children sexually. Children cannot consent. Children are innocent, and so are animals. They cannot consent, and they're innocent.
Ready to rescue those horses?
This is a nice little town. It's not the big city. You don't have to deal with the hustle, the bustle, and the crime rate. Mostly you see in the paper, somebody's trash can gets knocked over, or the drunk next door neighbor comes over and pissing on their tires. It was not a town that had a whole lot going on in it. It was quiet. There was a couple Chinese food restaurants. There was a Mexican food restaurant we go to quite a bit. Quite a few different places to go eat at. You know, we're not isolated out there. We like the rural setting, but you're not, dropped in the middle of nowhere.
Him and his ex-wife got along really well. He talked to her on the phone all the time. She seemed like a nice girl. Since the divorce, they got to be best of friends. They were still friends up until the day he died. The type of work he did was basically top secret. I knew what he did. I knew exactly what he did and how he went about doing it, but it was just something that we discussed that was never to be talked about.
I think at one time he was very conservative. After a while, things started changing. Things started opening up in front of him. He was going, this really doesn't seem right to me. Something about this just is kind of wrong.
I had a apple tree, fir tree, and a weeping willow. And otherwise, it was all open pasture, all open field.
Occasionally, there'd be some discussion on some constitutional issues of basic freedoms being usurped by certain political parties who thought that they needed to control the morality of the world, and they didn't care exactly how they got to do it.
When it come to work, he was all business. When he come out to the farm, he was a completely different person. He'd be relaxed. He was comfortable.
They were here during that time for the son to visit his father.
Flight number 324 to Seattle will be leaving gate 26A at 6:22 p.m.
You know, here they had come all this way to have this sort of normal family vacation. About halfway through their vacation, the death happened.
I called him at work, and I said, "Are you gonna come out tonight?" He goes, "No, but I'll be up next weekend." I said, "Oh no, you gotta come out tonight. There's somebody that wants to meet you." And we argued a little bit over the phone, and I finally got him to come out. Well, that was my downfall. It just irritates me thinking about it. Turn this thing off, please.
You're connecting with another intelligent being who is very happy to participate, be involved. You're not going to be able to ask it about the latest Madonna album. It has no idea what Tolstoy is or Keats. You can't discuss the difference between Manet and Picasso. That just doesn't exist for their world. It's a simpler, very plain world. And for those few moments, you kind of can get disconnected. It's a very intense, wonderful kind of